Hello everyone. I will be talking about the CI for this course, Leadership, and then I will go through a very short introduction for this week to talk about what leadership is and how it has evolved throughout history. So first of all, as you can see, this is the CI. This course is called Leadership. It's a core course which is worth 3 credits, and we will be meeting twice a week for this course. Basically, this course is about the key role in managing an organization, which is by ensuring that it has the right people performing well in the leadership position at all levels. And that's why this constitutes the main reason why the study of leadership is actually very, very important, and it's a must. And this, both from a practical and also a theoretical point of view, you will be learning it. Leaders need to have skills in influencing the behavior of others and the followers towards the achievement of their organizational goal. And therefore, every head of an organization that serves as a leader must apply the functions and the powers as the lead and use the appropriate leadership style according to situations, which means that we will have different situations that will require different leadership styles, and leaders should be able to practice these different styles according to the different situations, to the different contexts that they will face throughout their daily life in an organization. And also, communication skills, coaching and mentoring, ethical governance, conflict management skills are very crucial to leaders at the same time. And we will be adding one more topic, which is emotional intelligence to the course, and which is also very, very important for leaders and leadership skills. And hence, this course explores various leadership theories and practices by emphasizing the development of leadership and interpersonal skills through role-playing activities, case studies, peer learning, self-reflection, experiential exercises to maximize the students' own leadership capabilities. The course learning outcomes for this course is first one is evaluating complex leadership scenarios, advanced theoretical frameworks and practical insights to make informed decisions, solve intricate problems and communicate effective strategies for leading diverse teams in dynamic and challenging environments. The second one is display effective leadership skills by conceptualizing, planning, executing a leadership development workshop that addresses a specific leadership skill while fostering collaboration. And the last course learning outcome is advocating leadership principles and strategies through real-life leadership scenarios and engaging in individual reflective practices to enhance self-leadership and interpersonal effectiveness. The type of the, let's say, practices that we will be doing in this class will be peer learning, case studies, scenario-based learning, and role-playing, as well as one final exam. These are the topics that we will be covering within this course, which we will have 15 weeks in total. The type of the continuous assessment, the assignments that you're required to do is final exam, which is worth 40%. We do not have midterm exam for this course. We have 3 other assignments. The first one is the leadership drama presentation, which is worth 10 marks. This will be online, recorded, published on YouTube, and it will be marked by the UTM coordinator. And the rest of the let's say assignments, mini workshop leadership skill observation. This is also a presentation which will be done in class. And the last one is the leadership case study. The details of each assessment will be explained to you during class later on, and it will be also uploaded on the Moodle system. This CI has already been uploaded on the system. The references that is required, or let's say you can read further from, is the first one is really important, and I have already uploaded it for you. Nuthouse Peter, which is Leadership Theory and Practice, the 5th edition. As for the CI, this is mostly what we will be covering in this course. And now we will have a short introduction to leadership. Okay, so the overview of this class is why leadership is important, or why are we taking this course? Why do you need to learn about leadership? Why do you need to develop leadership skills? And then the definitions of leadership, ways of conceptualizing leadership, definition and its components, and then leadership described, traits versus process, assigned versus emergent, leadership and power, leadership and coercion, leadership and management. The first slide, let's say, it talks about the evolution of leadership definitions, how the definitions of leadership has, let's say, evolved or changed from the early 90s until the 1970s. But first, we need to know that leadership is not just a position. It's actually a field of study that has shifted from who a leader is. So it's not about the characteristics or the traits of a leader, but rather now it's about what a leader does, the process of leadership, which is very important for us. So from 190s to 129, it was more about control. Leadership was viewed as a command and control, a top-down approach where the leader held all the power and the followers should follow and submit to the power of the authority. From 1930s until 1950s, it is more about traits and groups. The focus shifted to identifying born leaders. So people thought that leaders were born with traits on how to lead people and how people behave within groups to reach certain goals. And then from 1960s to the 1970s, it was more about behavior rather than the characteristics. Researchers began looking at specific actions, basically how leaders behave to influence others. And then in the 1980s, I will go further so that we will come to nowadays, let's say, the current present time to know what we will be looking into. In the 1990s, which was called the explosion, this era introduced the transformation, focusing on how leaders inspire followers to exceed expectations. So it was not about power or authority anymore. It was more about inspiration. During the 21st century, it was more about complexity. In today's world, leadership is seen as a highly complex and adaptive to various global and digital contexts, because we have a lot of different contexts, we have a lot of different, let's say, influences on different situations. Leadership is not one style, leadership is not just one theory to consider. That's why we will be looking at different situations and different styles, and how do you make it compatible with each other? How do you use which style in which situation, basically? Then we have the conceptualization of leadership, which we have some definitions that viewed leadership in different ways. Leadership can be viewed through many or different lenses. For example, the personality perspective. Those who focus on the personality of the leaders suggest that leadership is a set of special characteristics or qualities. So it's about the characteristics of the person, of the leader. And then we have the second lens, which is power relationship, which is basically viewing leadership as a dynamic between a person in charge and their followers. So for this lens, it's more about the type of the relationship that the person in power has with their followers. The fourth type is a transformational process, which focuses on how leaders move followers to accomplish more than what is usually expected from them. Okay, and the last one is a skill perspective, which is basically emphasizing that leadership is a set of abilities which is consisting of knowledge and skills that can be learned. So leaders are not born, according to this lens. Leaders are, let's say, learning the skills and the knowledge, and then they can practice it in different situations and scenarios. So if we try to define leadership in a simple way, we can say it's a process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. So we can say that it's very important to note that leadership is not just a one-way street. It's not done by one person who's the leader and they can do everything. Rather, it's an interactive event between the leader and the followers. So the components that are central to the phenomenon of leadership. What are the most important components of leadership? We can talk about leadership on one side and then leaders on the other. Leadership is the process, leader is the person who is doing it. Okay, so leadership is actually a process that involves influencing within a group context and attains a common goal. So it's about the process of influencing a group of people to achieve a common goal. While leaders, they have followers, and the followers are also involved with the leaders together. And the followers need each other at the same time. Okay, so the group needs to work together with the leader. And they often initiate and maintain the relationship between the followers and with the leader also, and they are not above or better than the followers. So when we talk about leaders, we cannot say the leaders are above or better than the followers, or the followers are below the leaders. They are all within the same circle and within the same group. I hope this short introduction helped you to understand what is leadership and what is a leader. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day.